USA, 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 USA. Meryl Davis, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the hot seat.
Thank you for having me. How exciting to be here.
She was like, am I on by myself? I'm like, Charlie's not here.
I'm
So
so
we've
used to
got
having
you
a
all to
partner with
ourselves.
me. It's a little nerve-wracking when I'm by myself. You're going to have to be my partner for
We'll
the
have
day.
a fill-in if we need to.
Sounds
We
good.
can call a friend and call Charlie if anything stumps you.
Perfect.
So by the way, did I see that you almost left your medal somewhere on your social media?
I did. I've been traveling so much lately that I always forget something at home, and unfortunately this time it was almost my medal, so that's probably not the best thing to
Do
forget.
not lose that
Actually,
thing.
you know what? I forgot my skates last time, actually.
Did you have a show?
I had a show. I was going from New York to LA to Chicago, and I didn't need my skates until the third leg of the trip. So I was like, oh, so many other things to think of. So, of course, I called my mom, and I said, Mom, please FedEx them to me. So she did. It worked out.
That's what you do when you're an athlete's mom. You got to take care of stuff like forgotten
Yes.
skates and sabers.
She's
And
amazing.
you went back, you got your medal. She
did.
has it here today. And will you show them your medal, please? This is the first gold medal in U.S. history in ice dancing right here.
Yeah.
Please show them right here. And can you hold it up before you take it out?
Sure. So I have this nice bag that a fan gave me in China, this beautiful silk bag, but it needed a little bit more padding, so I put in a sock.
So Adidas, an Olympic gold medal is in a sock.
And it's getting a little bit worn, so I might
I'm
need to
sure
invest in a
Adidas
new
will
tube
replace
sock.
your Olympic holding medal
Maybe.
sock
That
for
that
you.
would be great.
Can I have the sock?
You can have the sock.
This should be in a museum somewhere. I feel like this is a total.
It's just the perfect amount of padding to protect it.
So you keep it in a sock, but where do you actually keep that at home?
Yeah, thank you. For a while, I was keeping it in a safe at my parents' house, but I had to take it out so often that it's just in my desk drawer at my house now. Yeah.
Awesome.
I have all my Olympic medals in one desk drawer. So like in the left drawer, it's like my checkbook, my pens, my pencils, and then in the right drawer, it's like, oh, all my Olympic medals. That's a good place to keep them.
And where do you keep the Dancing with the Stars mirror ball? Is that also an Adidas sock? Is that where the other sock is right
It's
now?
not. It would be a really large sock. It's pretty big. I keep it on my coffee table. So people walk in and they're like, oh, okay, that's
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. So I want to take you through a little bit of your history. So you started skating when you were 5.
I did. Yeah.
And that was your decision? Like you as a 5-year-old decided, or how did that start?
Yeah, I grew up on a lake in Michigan. Freezes over in the winter, and so, being hockey town, I don't know if anybody here is from Detroit. No?
Any Michigan people?
not-
No. Any New Yorkers here?
Okay. Fair. But, so I skated on the rink, on the lake in the winter, and I just fell in love with it, and I was a really hyperactive child, so I think any opportunity my parents had to let me sort of let any of that energy loose, they would gladly take, and they did.
And how did that actually transition to like you taking lessons? Like it just started with you kind of on a lake, but how do you go from, hey,
Sure.
I'm skating on a lake to I want to train?
Yeah, I think a lot of the kids in the Detroit area take skating lessons. Like I said, Detroit being hockey town, a lot of kids take hockey, and I went the figure skating route. I loved spinny dresses. That was my thing. So I think my parents figured the combination of spinny dresses and
What is a spinny dress?
a
I'm
spinny
sorry.
dress is when you can just twirl and it goes out, and it's so fun. But anyway, so so I just fell in love with it, and I felt really free when I was doing it. You can maintain so much speed, and the wind is in your face, and it was just love at first glide.
And now this is one of my favorite stories, and this is everything. So Meryl seems very sweet and nice, but she is so intentional and so precise and so competitive. But when she was 6, I want to make sure I get the story right.
Yep.
All on her own, she went up to the Olympic coach. And were you just like, dude, train me? Like, how did that?
Basically, yeah. So I was really lucky to grow up in the Detroit area, which when I was really young, Tara Lipinski was training there, and Todd Eldridge, a lot of the really top names in U.S. figure skating. And so their coach at the time, his name is Richard Callahan. And I was 6, and so I had been skating for about a year. And after practice one day, I just marched right up to him and I said, I need private lessons.
At 6 years old.
At 6 years old. And he said, where's your mom? And so he took my hand, he walked me over to my mom, and he said, come back in a couple years, we'll make it happen. Rejection, yeah. But I ended up taking lessons from his wife for years, and she was my first real figure skating coach, and definitely worked out well.
Does he remember this story? Have you ever been like, hey, remember when I was 6? Like, has that happened yet?
I think so. Because his wife was my first coach, I was very close with them for years. And a couple of years ago, they sent me some pictures of me when I was young that they have in their house. And definitely a great figure skating family.
And by the way, there's some unbelievably cute pictures of her skating online to check out if you want to see something really cute. So, and let's talk about how Charlie comes into your life.
Sure.
Both of you were really young. I think you were 8, he was 9.
I'm the older woman.
You're the older woman? You were 9 and he was 8? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so Charlie was a little hockey player, and he always skated like this. And so he started taking ice dance, which, I don't know how many of you guys know, but ice dance is sort of as per the name, it's the most dance-based of the figure skating disciplines. And so he started taking some ice dance lessons in order to improve his way of skating and get rid of the hockey player vibe.
This was his idea? This seems like a parental idea or a coach idea.
No, you'll have to, I don't want to put words into his mouth. Okay. You'll have to ask him that. But, and so they needed a tiny little partner for him. And we were both really athletic little spark plugs, just running around the rink. And so his coach at the time asked if I would ice dance with him. And I didn't understand. So you were his
tiny little partner? Was that the idea?
Yeah, and I didn't understand the difference between ice dance and pairs or any of that. I just knew that it was a boy and that, it was really scary holding his hand. But
is it true you didn't like him in the beginning?
We didn't speak until we were probably 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, that's 4 years.
Yeah. So we just
wow.
We stood there. We listened to our coach.
I was going to ask you, because you guys have been partners for 17 years. How do you keep a relationship going? So apparently, you wait 4 years to talk to each other,
and then it's perfect. Yeah.
Is it true that you wouldn't even look him in the eye and they put a sticker on his forehead for you to look at while you were skating?
Our coach threatened to do that. He never actually did
that.
But he always said, if you keep doing this, I'm going to put a sticker right here so that you have something to look at instead of gazing into his eyes, yeah.
Do you remember your first conversation after 4 years of not talking?
I was really, despite that story of walking up to an Olympic level coach, I became shy in a little pocket there for some reason. And he was telling a joke about Austin Powers, actually. And I didn't get it. And it was a joke about one of the names of one of the characters. And 11, maybe I was 11. An 11-year-old me was just completely disgusted by the joke. And somehow that initiated a friendship, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, we're learning a lot today, don't you agree? It's really getting into the psychology here.
Yeah.
And tell me how that you guys just, from the way you sort of say it, you guys got pretty good pretty quickly. How quick was that transition to where you felt like you could actually be this dynamic team and go out in the world and win all these medals?
Sure. Well, we were both really athletic kids. We both played soccer. Charlie, like I said, played hockey, and we were single skaters as well. So that's where you do the jumps and the spins. And we actually, and Charlie in particular, maintained that longer than most ice dancers do. So I think that really worked to our benefit to have that experience of skating on our own. But we just fell in love with it, and we didn't really have a goal per se as much as we just wanted to keep getting better. We would see, we're very competitive, and we would see the teams ahead of us and say, there's no reason that we can't be that good. And then, we would jump up a spot and then say, well, there's no reason we can't be that good. So we just sort of maintained those very small steps for 17 years, and it's amazing
and it worked out
how much those small steps for 17 years will do, yeah.
And one of my favorite stories that Charlie tells, at some point around 12 or 13, you were at a tournament and you fell.
Yeah.
And Charlie I asked him, tell me about Meryl. And he's like, this is the story that he's always comes to mind. She fell at 12 or 13, and she was so mad, and you never fell again.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a true story, right? Have you not fallen since you were 13 years old?
In competition, yeah.
In competition.
We've fallen as a couple, But it's never been solely my fault until then, or since then. But yeah, I was devastated. And actually, Charlie's late grandfather at the time, or his late grandfather, spoke to me then and gave me a real talking to and said, there are more important things in life than figure skating. And look what you have. Look how blessed you are. Look at the amazing things you're doing, and look at the amazing people surrounding you. We were at a dinner with my family and Charlie's family, and from that point forward, actually, every time we stepped onto the ice, in particular in Olympic competition, when nerves just make you want to run the other way as fast as you possibly can, I would always think about, his grandpa's name was Julio, and what Julio said was, think about your family, and that's what's important, and think about the things that matter most to you, and figure skating is just icing on the cake.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now I just want to talk a little more about your Sochi experience. You guys had so much pressure on you, as you mentioned. Going in, you'd won the silver at the Olympics before. Yeah. I was watching this last night. By the way, last night I was watching all these videos of you skating. Almost brought me to tears. But then I looked around. You make a lot of people cry, by the way. If you watch these videos, people are just bawling in the audience. But at the games, like, how do you deal with that pressure? What was that like right before that long skate when you know you're ahead and sort of this is your moment?
Well, it's terrifying, as you know. The Olympic Games are so special because they come every 4 years, of course, the winter and summer, and that makes it so much more terrifying, knowing that you won't have another shot for another 4 years. And what I had mentioned earlier, saying you want to run away, that was very much on my mind. Charlie and I, we did our warm-up before we competed, and we were sitting in the hallway, and I just remember both of us sitting there shaking, thinking, and we were thinking the same thing, if we run away right now, will anyone be able to find us? Can we just escape and never have to face this horrific...
That was your thought at the Olympics, if we run right now.
Yeah, which is a horrible thing to say, but that being said, we were so well trained and we were so ready that by the time you hit the ice, your body knows what to do. And we really had built up to that point for 17 years, and so despite that feeling of being utterly terrified, we were very prepared.
I know, and amazing, and congratulations again on the first Olympic gold for the U.S. in ice dancing. Just amazing. Can't say that enough.
Thank you.
And now let's talk a little about the roller coaster post-Olympics.
Sure.
So you go right from the Olympics now, Dancing with the Stars, competing against Charlie. Was that cool to beat him a little bit, or?
It was cool. I think it was really.
I got you back for that Austin Powers joke that offended me at 11.
Yeah, no, we didn't really feel like we were competing against each other, and it sounds like I'm just being politically correct, but we really didn't. I mean, we knew that we had gotten to a place in our lives where we were being invited to do Dancing with the Stars because of what we accomplished together. So there was no okay, well, now it's on. And we, despite our 4-year silence at the beginning, we did develop an amazing friendship, and so we just had fun. And I think, like you said, there was so much pressure going into Sochi that coming home, actually, I think for us was the most special part. I mean, standing on the podium, incredible. All the whirlwind following the games in Russia, incredible. But something about coming back onto American soil and being able to share our pride in representing the United States with, our people was the most special thing. And so I think Dancing with the Stars, we really saw it as an opportunity to share that joy and sort of just have a big dance party with the American people. That's how we saw it.
You guys did quite well.
Thanks.
Is it weird when people ask you, how do you compare the two things? Are they equal? Because you spent 17 years trying to win the gold, and you spent, a month training for Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
How's that been like? Some people know you for Dancing with the Stars. I mean, how do you react when you sort of encounter that?
Well, I never want to be disrespectful or in any way indicate that I didn't love Dancing with the Stars, because honestly, it was probably the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. And partly because I didn't really feel any pressure. It was just an amazing experience. But yeah, of course, that being said, people say, what was more important to you, Dancing with the Stars or the Olympic Games? And I mean, like I said, it's
I will answer for you. The Olympic gold medal, come on, people.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's it's a tough question to answer because I don't want people to misunderstand, but it really did
It's all right,
take
we understand.
17 years to make that happen. So that was a big one.
And obviously now you're also in college. So I want to talk
I've
about.
been in college
You've been
for
in college
9 years, actually.
For 9 years in college.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you won? That's a long time.
A long time. Besides the Olympics and Dancing with the Stars, I think my graduation party is going to be really stellar. It's
Are
going to
you
be.
going to wait 17 years for that as well? Or?
Yeah, I'm ready. The University of Michigan has been amazing. Yeah. Go Blue.
There's a Michigan person here.
See, you're from Detroit? No, or you just go to school there? Okay.
You were so quiet earlier.
Yeah. Where were you when I needed you?
They wanted to leave you hanging.
But, now I walk into the academic advising office after going to school there for 9 years, and they're like, Meryl, what's up? And all the, 19-year-old students are like, who is this person who knows everyone in the academic advising office?
Can a professor give you anything but an A?
Definitely.
Like, have you gotten in trouble at school, like grade-wise, or like I'm just trying to picture you in class at school.
No, I know as an Olympian, I'm sure you understand that perfectionism and just being a little bit obsessive it goes beyond the field of play, And so doing homework, sometimes I wish I could let it go a little bit more. It's just not in me, which is why I am still going 9 years later. But I'll get there. I have about a year left, so.
Awesome. And we know why you're taking so long, because you're doing so many things. So I know you're involved with a number of charities. You're on tour right now. We can talk a little about you work with Classroom Champions and do a lot of great work with kids.
Yeah, that's really been one of my main focuses the last year and a half. A lot of my fellow athletes, as I'm sure you experienced, will tell you, coming out of the Olympic Games, it's really challenging to find your place in the world when you've known your place since you were 5. And Charlie and I had really understood, despite not always wanting Olympic gold, we really understood, that goal when we woke up every single morning, what we were working towards. And so, following Olympics, following Dancing with the Stars, I sort of had this slump of, I was busy, but I would wake up in the morning and just sort of be like, what is it that I'm supposed to do with myself today? Like, yes, I'm busy. Yes, I have things going on, but what is my aim? What am I channeling my passion into? And so Charlie and I work with a charity called Classroom Champions, like you said, and the head and the founder of that foundation, Steve Messler, has really been sort of a mentor for me in terms of channeling that passion into philanthropic work. And so I'm sort of trying to find my voice in that world right now.
Awesome. And I know you're also, people want to watch you. You have Stars on Ice coming up. You're going to Japan pretty soon to compete. What do you have coming up on the... and you're still dancing, too. You've found 2 careers now. You've got a dancing career and you've got a skating career.
How lucky am I? Yeah, dancing and skating around the world is a pretty fun way to support yourself, I'm not going to lie. And it makes it that much harder to want to sit down and do your psychology homework. So that's been challenging. But so I'm going to... I'm making a couple stops on my way to Japan next week for a show. Like you said, we have the Stars on Ice tour coming up in the spring around the U.S., which is amazing. It's really a skater show, and so to be able to really focus on just the beauty of not only the sport, but the art of figure skating, you can tell that I'm obsessed with my sport. But it's really rewarding, and Charlie and I definitely love it.
All right, I have some kind of rapid-fire questions for you before we turn over these guys. Okay. Who would play you and who would play Charlie in a movie about your life?
That's a good question. Someone said Anna Kendrick, and I very, happily welcome that suggestion. So I'll go with that.
What about Charlie?
Charlie, I don't know the actor's name, but I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Blue Lagoon. Did you ever see that? With the guy with the big...
That was a while. That guy might be like 60 years old right now, though.
Yeah.
You have to play like Charlie as an old man.
Maybe he has a son that looks a lot like him, who's not an actor, but...
Biggest role model growing up?
My mom, as cliche as that is, yeah, my mom definitely.
And your mom's a teacher as well?
My mom
We love teachers here.
My mom's a special education teacher, which is amazing because I'm dyslexic, and so the fact that she really understood that challenge as I was growing up is invaluable.
What Olympic sport, if not ice dancing or anything with ice?
Yeah. Gymnastics.
Gymnastics,
Yeah.
not fencing. Oh, that's okay. If you could rock out like an ice dance routine to a current pop star, who would it be, and what
Their
song?
music?
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Sam Smith. There's nothing more rewarding than driving in your car crying, listening to Sam Smith. Maybe that's weird. But at least half of you do that.
Do you have a routine to like stay with me to that song?
No, actually, we're doing actually a quartet with Charlie's now wife, Tanith, and her partner, Ben, in Japan, to a Sam Smith song, so.
Okay. I got to find a couple of these. Is your favorite food really peanut butter and Caesar salad?
I did that questionnaire when I was like 14. I think now I really like Japanese food. I'm a big sushi person.
Okay, so we've changed it. It's sushi now.
It's sushi.
This is from a fan. Who is hotter, Charlie or Maxime?
Oh, totally unfair question. I mean, Charlie's married now though, so.
That wasn't it. Do you have an opinion one or the other?
No, I'm opinionless in that department.
Okay.
Who do you think is hotter?
No, I gotta say Charlie. He's an Olympian. I gotta go Charlie.
Yeah.
Who do you guys think is harder? Charlie, raise of hands. Charlie, everyone is raising your hands, Charlie. That was really bad. I'm not gonna ask the next part. Charlie, if you're watching, everyone just raise their hands. Don't worry about it. 2018 Olympics?
2018 Olympics, maybe.
Yes, maybe? Okay.
We're leaving it on the table, yeah.
And finally, will you show me how to twizzle?
Yeah, totally. Where are your ice skates, though?
I do not have ice skates, but this is the move. All I heard during the last Olympics was twizzle.
Okay,
So show me
you
how to
have
twizzle.
to put your left arm above your head.
Okay.
Grab
I'm gonna put my
your
mic down.
grab your left foot. And now turn as fast as you can.
Like this?
Yes, exactly like that. Perfect.
Am
Now
I ready for the game?
I think you're ready.
I'll trade you, so I'll show you the on guard for
Yes,
fencing.
please.
You're like right here on guard.
Is this wrong?
When we do fencing with the stars, you'll be our first partner.
Okay.
All
Are you
right?
going to be my professional partner?
I will be your professional partner.
Cool.
We
deal.
did a little dance video earlier, and I already tweeted out to Charlie and Maxime, like, look out, because I'm coming, but
Jealous?
I'm pretty bad. If you saw that dance move, you know
Yeah.
they don't have much to worry
You
about,
could do like a
actually.
fencing-based routine on Dancing with the Stars.
Ooh. Will you do a
Fencing
fencing-based ice dance?
I feel like that could be a cool paso doble. What? Sorry.
I actually had asked our friend Sarah Hughes, I had asked her, I did like a little skating and I was like trying to do a fencing move and I'm like, no one's ever done fencing.
Yeah.
And then someone had done a figure skating fencing routine. So,
Interesting.
all right,
I
well,
haven't
we
seen
are
that.
going to kick it to some audience questions. We're putting you on the hot seat with our audience
Sure.
now.
Hi.
Hello.
So being an Olympic champion, Dancing with the Stars champion, how could you describe this moment, and has it affect your normal everyday life? By the way, your outfit is on point right now.
Thank
in
you.
Love.
Thank you. That's so nice of you. Describe those moments of each. They were, it's interesting, and I'll be completely honest, even though I should probably be a little bit embarrassed, but I'm the kind of person who has a really hard time celebrating, and I have a really hard time being in the moment. And that's one of the things that's so amazing for me about having partners that balance me out. Whether it's Charlie for 17 years or Max on Dancing with the Stars, they are a lot different than I am, and so they encourage me to enjoy the moment because I'm always thinking ahead to what's next. But that being said, I think just the pride in representing your country is unlike anything I've ever felt, and I know Tim understands. But there's something about the Olympic Games in particular, knowing that you are representing a country in the sport that you've been working, on your whole life. I think that's something I'll never forget. Yeah.
We've got over there.
Your outfits for the Olympics and for Dancing with the Stars have been amazing. How much input do you have?
For my skating costumes, I pretty much designed all of them, which was a lot of fun. My mom and Charlie's mom actually help a lot, and that was one of my favorite parts about figure skating, actually. But just getting to have a vision, and whether it's the music, the choreography, the movement, but then the outfit as well really creates a whole image and a whole package that's a lot of fun to be able to visualize and then bring to real life. On Dancing with the Stars, actually Max designed all my costumes because Charlie and I were doing Stars on Ice at the same time. So Tuesday through Sunday, we were on the road on a tour bus, and then we would take the red eye Sunday night to LA to do Dancing with the Stars. So I really didn't have a lot to do with those. He had a great eye.
I have a quick question from our online folks. So, serious question: how is your resident rodent friend Fievel doing? Has he moved out yet?
Yeah,
That's from Natalie.
Okay.
On Twitter.
Okay, thanks for that question. Yeah, I tweeted, I think last year, that's an impressive memory, about having a mouse in my garage and not knowing what to do. I think he may have passed away of natural causes.
Oh no!
Because I haven't seen him for a while.
But you named him.
Fievel, because I was hoping he would go really far west and leave my house. But yeah, I mean, my mom was like, you gotta get a trap, you gotta do this, and I couldn't do it. So, you know, what happens, happens, and I'm blissfully ignorant about his possibly horrific death.
About his demise.
Yeah.
I think we got over there, yeah.
Hi, I'm Casey, and I'm from Makers, which is the largest collection of women's leadership stories. And
Sure.
I'm curious to know who your female role models are in skating and beyond.
Sure, that's a great question. I think in skating, one of my greatest role models is Christy Yamaguchi. She just embodies everything that I strive to be on the ice and off. She's just one of the most genuine people I've ever met, and she just really takes the time to listen to people and just wants the best for the people around her, and I think that that's such an amazing quality. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think on the ice. Do you know Christy?
Yeah, he's great.
She's an incredible person. And off, I was saying my mom has always been my role model, and I think that's a really cliche answer, but similar to Christy in that when you have just the utmost respect for someone in every way, I think it inspires you to want to, sort of embody that same thing. So, yeah, I'm lucky to have someone like that in my mom.
Got a question from Abby Lyman online as well. She said, what skating experience brought you and Charlie the closest?
Brought us the closest. I think that the challenges, there were definitely quite a few challenges. And we've been incredibly lucky, and we've had a career so far that's just, especially retrospectively, I couldn't ask for more. But the moments of weakness and the moments of, having made mistakes are definitely the moments that forced us to support one another. And I think that's really what allowed us to deal with the pressure of, being Olympic favorites coming into Sochi. I completely trust him 100% in every facet of everything because of everything that we've been through together since I was 9, and so those challenging moments are definitely the ones that brought us the closest.
You got that?
Hey, Meryl, I'm Will.
You're the Michigan guy, right?
Yeah, my buddy John
Good
and I. Yeah, we're currently at the University of Michigan. School loves you, but
Oh, thanks.
I was just wondering, how is it like balancing being at school and training for the Olympics at the same time? Like, what was like your day-to-day schedule kind of like?
Sure. Well, to be fair, in the semester leading into the Olympics, I didn't take classes. I wanted to just focus on the Olympics. But in the training in the years surrounding both Olympic Games, I think just wanting that balance, like you sort of hinted at, is really important. Charlie in 2006, a year after, Charlie actually broke his ankle and we weren't able to compete for a year. And the following year, we just decided to skate and not go to school at all because we wanted to try to catch up. And we were both just really unhappy. I think we both love skating, so much, and we're so dedicated to it. But we realized how important it was for us and our sanity to be students, to stimulate our minds in a different way, to be on campus, to have friends and have a social life. And, not only did it just make us happier people, but it actually made us better skaters as well, because we could really bring the right attitude to the rink and more life experience as well. And so I think being forced to focus on one thing allowed us to appreciate that not being the right thing for us. Yeah.
Last question.
Hey, Meryl, we actually met last year through a mutual friend, Kim Navarro. I'm
Yes,
Daphne.
nice to see you. You too.
So I'm actually working on my gold test right now in ice
Congratulations.
dancing, and I was wondering if you could give me any tips on the Killian or the Starlight Waltz.
Oh boy. You know, I think this may not be the tips you're looking for, but I think one of the things my coach said years ago in a compulsory dance. So compulsory dances are when everyone sort of does the same steps that have been laid out on a pattern on the ice, and they're sort of like the foundation of ice dance. And I remember going into, I think it was the Golden Waltz or something, and he said, you're not in an ice rink, you're in a grand ballroom, and you're a debutante, and you're making your debut into society. And that is one of the things that I love most about figure skating, is being able to transform any moment into something special. And, you know, it sounds silly, but I think that really stuck with me for years in terms of just making your experience and making the performance so special. So I think when you're doing compulsory dances like that, it's really interesting to really create the scene of what you imagine sort of you're doing. Yeah.
Well, Meryl, thank you so much. Round of applause to Meryl. It's been awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Amazing. Should I?
All you do is win. You win Olympics. You won Dancing with the Stars. Now you've won AOL Build. So this is a huge honor. Another sock you're gonna need. Here we go. Look at that.
My gigantic bun.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll need another sock. So.
You will need another sock.
Yeah.
I think I can find a dirty one for you
Okay.
for that. So anyway, Meryl Davis, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you all at home and here. Hope you guys had a good time. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.